Hey crew, Meg here with a walkthrough of research to provide and setting the standard in your pitch deck and how you share out about your venture. So, we know that pitching is a really important way to convey really the core crux of what's interesting about your venture and how you want to get people involved. And we do that with a super strong hook. Oftentimes, hooks are best done when there's really great evidence and something compelling to kick it off with. We want to make sure we have the intro, the problem and opportunity statement. When you can provide evidence there of the scope of the problem, that really helps to kick it off well from a strength and demonstrating that you really get the problem at hand. Offering then an extension of that throughout your unique value proposition and why your offering is the best. We definitely want to be sure to include our target market slide, which has the total available market, the total serviceable market, and the market that you can realistically reach. Then we want a solution with your prototype with evidence of the testing of that. Customer profiles are another great way to expose what you've been up to in terms of thinking through your offering, an explanation of your business model and financials, further evidence. Substitutes and alternatives is a really helpful form of evidence demonstration. And then we want to see some traction, your vision to scale, and the team, and your call to action. So that's a quick run through of our slides. And the reason that we run through those is it helps create a format for some other examples of how other pitches walk through the target market as well as through the customer profiles and their business model. So I want to pull up some samples that I find particularly helpful from a large venture perspective, one of which is what was then humorously called the Facebook. Sorry. So this was in 2004. It was the pitch deck for Facebook after they had some initial traction through some Ivy League colleges. So this is a walkthrough, 13 slides in, looking for further venture investments. So at that point, there were 15 million college students in the United States with an estimated purchasing power of 85 billion, if you look at this. And so the demonstration of their value was in being able to uniquely reach that 15 million college students. And at that point, we weren't yet really thinking about targeted embedded marketing the way that it's familiar to you today. So this is pretty unique. Then they walk through the total amount of students. At Ivy League is 55 and other schools 45. And then we look at these students, alumni, faculty, and staff percentages. The percentages by age demographic, men and women. Then they look at the site usage for daily unique users, monthly unique users, and daily traffic and page views. So what they're doing is they're setting the stage from their 70,000 users. How is this activity broken down? And they share the 90 million page views and a quote that validates the impact that Facebook is having. Then they present some statistics about their growth rate, their services, how those function, who they are reaching, what's most pervasive, the different rates and sizes, and then leaving on contact information. So going back just to make sure I'm emphasizing this fully, they look at their user base and then they break it down based on the percentages of participation. And notice they don't try to accomplish this all within one slide. They talk about it within several slides so that you can get a really much clearer sense of the story there. A lot of the evidence that we look at is really busy, so it's hard for people to step away from it and really quickly absorb the information. Moz is another really fantastic funding story from the West Coast. So they have here an ask for further financing. They were a search engine optimization company, but was looking to provide more services to marketers. And so they were looking for funding to expand. So this talks about their conversion rates, their churn rates, monthly visits, their subscribers, gross margin, estimated profit, staffing costs. So the top area of all of this is what we're going to think about within their serviceable market. And it's their goal of making evidence to the fact that they have a ready market for expansion to really capitalize on to increase their revenues. Then we have here a quick demonstration through a company called Dwolla in the US market, and they just set market sizing here for a currency exchange for the amount of money that's through ACH, the amount of wire payments, and then how that relates globally. So that's sort of your minimum viable product to the amount that you could include, but it does demonstrate some market sizing there. Another one that I happen to really like is the WeWork overview. So the WeWork overview can be a little bit busy too, but it does provide a lot of content and information. So the key facts about the company, their financials, and then the key markets that they're in, all succinctly offered. Sync summary there. Then this hook is interesting because it gives a quick overview of the way that their target market is thinking through their attributes. And then the fundamental shifts. So when you think about this, what they're doing is they're mapping out human behavior here that also sort of highlights both the complementary products as well as the ways that people might think about substituting. And the nature of work changing statistics here, and creating a new ecosystem for work. So they build the case of how people's changing workforce habits and the changing social needs of people are leading to this need to have a robust WeWork environment. So they run through data and facts and their profitable business model because they really do need that investment for something that is newly understood in terms of co-working and the changing nature of work. Another one here is for the Knot, and this one talks through in a very simple form the different things that they are doing, their different target customers, how they're reaching them through different distribution channels, local, online, etc., and talking about the way that they currently have market reach and traction and what they want to be doing within the baby market going forward, and outlining how they're planning on doing that within areas of overlap in their service offering. So lots of different ways for you to think about what your offering can be within the pitch world. And I would just encourage you to think about the most compelling ways that you can, as simply as possible, convey the evidence that you need to convey to help people feel more comfortable and cohesive in their understanding of the work that you've done, the traction that you have, and what questions you have left outstanding, and the evidence that we can find. So feel free to check in with me if you have any questions about your research. We look forward to seeing that and learning more about your test cards and your venture. Thanks so much.